Big 10 dudes, this is the OSMcast. Hey folks, and welcome to the OSMcast, your podcast for everything awesome. I'm Basil.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Douglas.
And that's us. We're back. It's 2020, and it's an actual, well, I don't want to say not an actual OSMcast, because a good chunk of them now are the Tennessee crew.
Yeah.
Just talking about stuff.
Yeah.
But no, this is a real thing. We're talking about an actual anime movie, directed by Masaaki Yuasa and studio Science Saru. It's going to be fun times. But of course, we always... our hearts and thoughts and prayers and every good vibes for our folks in Nashville and Tennessee. They just got wrecked by a really bad set of tornadoes.
Yeah.
I believe it's called the Community Fund is a really good spot for people to throw donation dollars to. I've seen that repeated a lot. So please, if you have it, go do it.
It also never hurts to give blood.
It's true, but before you do that, wash your hands.
Yeah, wash your hands.
And wash your blood.
Wash your thumbs. Wash your hands, wash your thumbs, wash your blood. Wait, how does that work, Kevin?
Very carefully.
Okay. It's a sick world out there.
It is. It's, hopefully when this goes up, there are still listeners.
I mean,
yeah,
there'll be some listeners.
Yeah, Barry is very concerned about the coronavirus. I mean, very concerned. Like, there's being reasonably aware of it and taking measures to prevent it. And then there's reading up on all the conspiracy theories and being hyper aware of it.
Yeah. But, hopefully you kids are, washing your hands with soap and
But
giving it a little extra scrub than you usually do.
Yeah, but it's totally man-made.
All right, so in this episode of The Illuminati...
The Illuminati were technically real. They were founded in Bavaria by Adam Weishaupt. Like, that's actual history.
So in this episode of Doug Talks About the Illuminati, I'm not actually talking about the Illuminati. I'm actually talking about the Chinese government fucking up. So, what happened so the thing about the coronavirus that is worrisome is that it has several parts of it's technically related to what is it called?
Well, I know this is actually a strain of
SARS. SARS, it's of all the viruses that we've seen that have come out and had this pandemic type effect, the coronavirus is most similar to SARS. But it has lots of other, interesting little bits in it from HIV, from Ebola, from things that are just not generally related to that strain of viruses. But viruses, like bacteria, can do this sort of thing where they absorb, random fragments of RNA that are just, hanging around in the environment. And that's what I actually think happened, is I actually think that the Chinese Center for Disease Control, I don't know what it's called, but that's what it is. I think they were researching a whole bunch of other diseases, and somebody just missed the memo on how to keep a stage 4 epidemic lab actually clean. And... I think they were just studying stuff and accidentally mixed all this RNA together, and that crafted this super long gestation period, super virulent virus.
Just Mega Man'd up the bits it needed and...
Yeah, it just kind of cobbled it together, and then because they were failing to maintain a stage 4 lab correctly anyway, somebody just got sick and walked out.
Far from the craziest theory I've heard about that.
Well, that's my personal conspiracy theory on how I think it happened. I don't think these stories, I don't think these stories that it came from the open air market are actually true. I think that those are very likely, and possibly where the person who left the Center for Disease Control went. But
so, I know you'll never admit it out loud, but China, if we hit any nails on the head, we just like a little private note to let us know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure China just done fucked up.
Just professional curiosity. We swear we won't tell the world.
Also, if you could free Hong Kong, that'd be
free Tibet. Fuck that, free Tibet.
Well, how would they free both?
Yeah, free both of them.
Yeah,
just be cool, China. Be cool.
And I get that I'll never be able to play Hearthstone now, but
yeah,
that's fine. In other conspiracy theories, we're still not quite sure how they goofed up the anime of Black Clover so much.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Well, I have just not been watching, so...
it's so bad. I don't know what exactly they did so terribly wrong, because I have faith when Basil tells me that the manga is okay.
It's perfectly readable.
Perfectly readable.
But, oh my gosh, I watch the anime and I just get so angry at it. Its storytelling is actively bad. There are way too many instances where we go back to a period where there was some downtime, so something could have happened, but it turns out this whole elaborate adventure that they just kind of didn't tell us about happened. And now we're caught up to speed in the middle of this other story arc. And I know that smacks of filler. It sounds like they've injected a lot of filler into this anime. I don't know that that's what's happened. All I know is that when I watch it on Toonami, it's actively bad. And it makes me angry.
Yeah, I've not been watching Black Clover, ever.
I'm sure that Micah Soulsalt's killing it as, as the cool dude of the pair.
Yeah, of course Micah's playing the cool dude.
And maybe if they had Micah playing everybody, it'd help fix things. But...
Well, there's only so much good voice actors can do for you.
Well, and the animation looks crappy, too. I don't know how it is in the manga. I don't really read the manga. But the character designs are a big pile of garbage.
Do you know who's animating that offhand?
Perio.
Okay, I was just...
It literally is their new Naruto.
Yeah.
Everybody moves stiff and stilted. It's almost like they took the philosophy of how to animate One Piece and then applied it to this show, only this show is not as good as One Piece. In any stretch of the imagination.
Because my first thought is, well, if it's Toei only has X number of good animators, and they kind of rotate them around shows sometimes. But
yeah, it's like they figured out. It's like they looked at Toei, how do they do animation, and decided they could do that, but not have a good team.
That is not so. Well, if you were trying to convince me I should give Black Clover a shot, this failed miserably.
No, I want Adult Swim to stop airing it. They don't have to stop producing it. I guess if Japan likes it, whatever. But it's actively bad, and so I don't know why it's on television.
So let's go from actively bad to actively good with our moments of awesome.
It's a moment of awesome.
I'm going to go first because I want to talk about the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo that finally just hit. And it's crazy that I've played it, and Kevin's played it, but Doug hasn't played it yet.
Yeah, especially since I spent years convincing Basil that Final Fantasy VII is good.
And I really think it's a case of... I remember playing it the first time. Way back in the early mid-90s.
Yeah, we're talking the PlayStation version.
Yeah, PlayStation 1, where my friend Seth accidentally spoiled me on a character death, which I guess is now relevant, maybe? We don't know yet. But chances are you'd probably know who I'm talking about anyways, but so whatever. And he felt bad, so he sold my mom his old PlayStation because he moved in with his boyfriend, and they didn't need 2 PlayStations and 2 copies of Final Fantasy VII. And so I got Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy Tactics, and Castlevania Symphony of the Night for Christmas that year. And boy, that was one of the best Christmases ever. In fact, I'm pretty sure I talked about that during our PlayStation episodes many moons back.
I mean, I know I've heard the story, so maybe I'm just remembering that, but I think we did.
Also, PS2 apparently just turned 20, so go back and listen to those retrospectives. I think we did a pretty good job. Anywho, so I remember playing Final Fantasy VII multiple times, and long conversations with Kevin on the phone, because kids, that's what we had back in the day, just actual telephones, not cell phones, actual phones, and we would take up all our parents' time that they could use the phones just talking about Final Fantasy VII, and I was just having all sorts of issues that every time I played through it again. And I think what I was actually having real issues with, a lot of it, was probably the translation by Sony. Because I think they actually took a couple steps backwards than Ted Woosley stuff in from things like, Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger. And so I've been really, really wanting to play Final Fantasy VII again, but with a new translation.
Yeah.
And I think this remake is actually the best chance for me to get that. So I was actually very excited to try this version of the game. And I've played it, and it's pretty good. I'm sold on the graphics. I am even kind of sold on the English voice acting, though I don't plan on playing it with that. I kind of want the Japanese cast more.
Yeah. But
the English voice acting isn't bad. I do like seeing Jesse and the Biggs and Wedge, actually getting some actual,
Get a little bit of characters. Well, they got some characterization in the game, but here they walk and talk and have expressions, and you get invested in them a little bit more, I think. Yeah.
And so in the combat, once I get my head wrapped around it more, I'll like it more, because it is very much a whole bunch of systems.
Yeah.
Interlocked, and they don't exactly fully explain how everything's really working.
It's almost Kingdom Hearts with no jumping, but sort of time slow down when you choose an ability.
Well, it's so you have your action button with the square button, right? Haha, square button. It's funny because it's made by Square Enix. And you use it as your filler button.
Yeah.
And you're using that to fill your ATB bar. And then you use the ATB bar to use things like your special actions, items, magic. And that's where all your real damage and effects come from. And eventually you can put pressure on an enemy. And then if you put enough pressure, you then stagger them.
Which does seem like they cook out of Final Fantasy 13 and its cousins.
It's an action game now.
Huh.
Now, there is quote-unquote classic mode.
Yeah.
Where what that does is it auto-attacks and defends for you and evades. So it fills up the AT bar for you, and then all you have to do is focus on making your ATB decisions.
Try that, but...
which I thought was neat, but it also locks you into easy mode.
Yeah.
And so I kind of wish you could choose classic. Kind of like how in Fire Emblem, where you can choose your difficulty, but also whether or not characters have permadeath or not.
Right.
I would kind of like that. I would like the ability to choose classic mode, but then choose classic mode with whatever difficulty I wanted. It's certainly different. It's very modern Square.
Yeah.
I've heard some comparisons of things like Dragon Age 2, but good, which I can sort of see. But we'll see. I know. I felt when I first did the first boss fight the first time, it was taking forever, and sometimes I would get very annoyed. Because clearly Cloud and Barrett were dying, and I wanted to use an item, but I couldn't because their ATB bars weren't filled enough to use an item.
Yeah.
And that was frustrating.
Yeah, I'm actually a little worried because I really enjoyed the demo, and traditionally, the Final Fantasy games I really liked, I've hated their demos. But...
Well, I think in this case, this was literally the first part of the game.
Yeah.
I think we just straight up just got the tutorial section of the game.
Yeah. And usually when I'm talking about, they threw you into some sort of middle of the game with all the abilities you'd have at that point in the game unlocked, except you don't have any idea how it works. You haven't built your way up into it, and you're just it looks pretty. I don't know. I guess I'm buying it anyways because I kept buying them even when I hated the demo. So,
But man, the orchestrated remixes and rearrangements of all the themes are super good.
Yeah.
it really, really, to me, hammers in the concept that, Uematsu just got stuck with MIDI for the PlayStation initially because it was so early on in its lifespan.
Right.
That he didn't have all the orchestral samples to really make his music sing, but now he does. And it all sounds really good. I did like the opening cutscene of Aerith.
Who you actually don't know yet, I don't think, how they're going to spell her name.
Right. Where she's just looking at an open Mako drain pipe. So you see her like concerned looking at this energy seeping out. And then as she's walking by, someone actually steps on one of her flowers. So it actually really hammers in on the whole central, themes of we're ruining the earth.
Still being very nearly the original opening of the game with, better graphics and more orchestral music.
And especially with, the whole way more pressing concerns of climate change than we had in the early 90s when it was a thing, but we didn't realize how much of a thing it was.
Now it's like, killing the planet. Yep. Maybe this terrorism thing's a little extreme too. I'm right here with the avalanche. Let's blow this shit up. Yeah, it's like...
But anyway, so I enjoyed the demo pretty well. I'm kind of concerned how well this whole new combat system is going to really work out for me. But I'm glad that Kevin enjoyed it, and I'm excited. Maybe next episode we might get Doug's impressions on it because
they're making me download it right now as we speak.
It's true. Yes. I am holding a gun to Doug's PS4, making sure that it downloads.
Well, I mean, I was going to buy the game anyway,
right?
Because I just usually don't play demos.
Yeah.
Like, I have to admit, I am worried about it not being like the classic. The classic menu selection, but whatever. I'll give it a shot.
I'm fine with them changing how the gameplay works because in many ways, this is a new game. They're really blowing up the Midgar section to its own 40, 60 hour RPG experience when Final Fantasy VII was a 40, 60 hour RPG experience.
We'll see.
So we'll see how it goes. And I also get that, this is modern Square. This is not classic Square. There are a lot of, Kitase and Nomura working on, this.
I'm kind of hoping the game throws at least a few curveballs for people who played the original game. Just go, what? But, I'm not sure what I'd want those to be exactly. But, that's the point. I want you to surprise me just a little bit.
I mean, one of my favorite things from the DS Final Fantasy IV remake, was when they would change how the battles worked.
Yeah.
Like, it was turn-based, but then they go, you thought this was going to happen in the battle, but no, actually, it's this. And I was like, what? And, it was... Yeah. So I would like some twists and turns. That would be cool. So, Kevin, what's your moment of awesome?
My moment of awesome is Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol. Well, specifically the TV series that was on the streaming DC universe. Although, reason why I'm mentioning Doom Patrol over, say, Harley Quinn, which I also really liked, is that you can actually buy Doom Patrol on Blu-ray or DVD, and it's fairly inexpensive, even though it's going to get another season. I got my copy for like $15. But Doom Patrol is really good, guys. It is, well, you know how, with Guardians of the Galaxy, there was an earlier version of Guardians of the Galaxy, but they're not the ones everyone likes. It's Doom Patrol's like that. There was the early version, and then Grant Morrison came in the 90s and wrote Doom Patrol. And that's what this is based on. And Grant Morrison is a weird guy. And this show has kind of captured at least some of that weirdness. And what I think makes Doom Patrol kind of interesting is they, one, don't really think of themselves as superheroes. But two is, all of their superpowers come with crippling drawbacks. It's it's Cliff Steele, the robot man. He is a human brain in a completely mechanical robot body. He has no sense of touch or taste. And he's just he's super strong and can take a huge beating, but, he crushes plates accidentally, or, it's...
How very boomer of him.
Yeah.
But the Bubblegum Crisis boomer, not the okay boomer.
Or Crazy Jane, who has 64 multiple personalities, each with its own superpower. And some of them are not nice. Some of them are just plain weird. And they all live in a little world inside her head that's actually a part of an episode. Or the Negative Man, who, was a cool Air Force pilot who got bonded with an awesome energy spirit that can, fly around and do all kinds of stuff. It also gave him horrible burns. And he can't control this spirit at all. It just does what it wants. And, of course, Elasta Woman, who is actually in almost all iterations of the team, who, can shapeshift and extend her limbs and grow in size. And, if she loses her focus, she turns into a gelatinous blob. That kind of stuff. Also, weirdly, at second episode on, joined by Cyborg of Teen Titans fame, because, I don't know, they needed a fifth guy. But it's actually a pretty good iteration of live-action Cyborg, so I'm okay with that. And, they just kind of go on wacky adventures. Including literally fighting the narrator of the story at one point.
Is it another character or just actually the narrator?
Well, yes, and yes. Because this is kind of weird. It gets weird. There's, donkeys with parallel universes inside them. Sentient, genderqueer teleporting streets. A reoccurring nemesis who are a cockroach and a mouse. An actual cockroach and a mouse. It's a weird show. And it's weird, very true to just the psychedelic bizarreness of the 90s Doom Patrol comic incarnation. And I'm like, I'm surprised they went there. I mean, I mentioned Danny the Street, who is a great addition to the DC universe and is a real character in it, who is a sentient, genderqueer, teleporting street that just attracts misfits and outcasts to live on them and takes care of them and seems to gain sustenance from the people being there being happy. And so Danny takes care of Danny's people. And Danny's in 3 episodes and it's awesome. They've got, and that's just, I know it's going to get another season, and I think it's actually going to be on HBO, but... I'm hoping they get even more of the weirdness. I want to see the Brotherhood of Dada. I want to see the Quiz in live action, because the Quiz has whatever superpowers you didn't think of. That's the Quiz's power. Sure, maybe you saw it of super strength, maybe you saw it of invulnerability, but did you think of teleporting bees into your lungs?
Oh, God. Oh.
That's the kind of weirdness Doom Patrol's bringing to the table, and I'm like, I want more of this, and it was ridiculously cheap. It was
yeah, all right. So, Doug, what's your moment of awesome?
My moment of awesome, well, I have 2.
That's fine.
I saw this movie called Mother! It was actually made in 2017. It turns out it was all allegory. As Kevin described it when I told him about this. Kevin just looked at me and said, "Oh, you mean oops, all allegory?" I sadly did not catch the allegory upon the first viewing of it. It was only after I saw it and then went, okay, what the hell? There's a lot of other symbols in there that I missed. What are they?
Yeah.
And I looked it up and I read somebody say that, oh, it's all allegory. And I was like, oh, I can't believe I missed that. But it's really interesting. The takeaway I actually got from it was the stress of living with somebody else who is famous was the interpretation I got, because it's told from the perspective of this woman who has this really nice house and she's trying to maintain this really nice house. And her husband is this famous poet, and it starts with at first this random guy passing through who turns out to be like a super fan of the dude. Kind of barges into their house, and then one thing just leads to another, and then really quickly their house gets overwhelmed for one reason or another. And then they manage to kick those guys out, and they kind of reset. But then the poet ends up writing this new book, and the new book attracts so many fans who come in and invade the house. It's actually a retelling of the Bible. is the correct is the correct interpretation of it. But I saw I saw how difficult it can be to live with somebody who is a fan, and I feel like, you know, death of the author a little bit. Like, maybe the author meant, like, the biblical thing, and it's definitely there, but other interpretations are just as valid, too.
It's true. I mean, art is what you make of it, because you're the one interpreting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one moment of awesome.
Okay.
I really like that movie. I want other people to watch that movie so that I can talk to them about it. And then the next movie is Hunters, a new Amazon show.
Which I was definitely curious about, and for some reason the internet seemed, at least the people I follow, seem to be reluctant to weigh in on its quality.
Which is dumb. They should just say that it's good.
But what is it?
Well, it's about a group of people based out of New York who decide to get together for various reasons to hunt a bunch of Nazis who are living in the United States and kill them.
Which is always a good thing.
And so it's a Nazi-killing conspiracy theory romp, and it's fantastic. So, as a person who actually lives in Huntsville, Alabama, who was born here and grew up here, the show throws a slight at us during the one episode. And this is the episode before they deal with Werner von Braun. I actually think they wanted to deal with Werner von Braun in this episode, but then somebody discovered that Werner von Braun had died before their historical fiction was set, and so that was like a monkey wrench, so they just kind of made up another guy.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those, they made a jab at us, but it's hard. The jabs that really hurt are the ones that are true. So, pointing out that we're a southern city that after World War II is where they moved the German scientists to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they loved it here. They thought it was absolutely great. And that's awkward and uncomfortable when you think about it too much.
I mean, honestly, we still have some of their, family and descendants living in Huntsville, Alabama today.
Yep.
And, hopefully they're not Nazis, but...
Well, the thing is that the show paints all of these people very decidedly as Nazis.
Yeah.
I know in the case of Werner von Braun, he was a card-carrying Nazi.
Yep.
But he never believed in the genocide part of it. He mostly just wanted funding for building his rockets, and that is still an ethical question of why didn't he speak up.
We're weapons of large-scale destruction, if not mass destruction. And he wasn't shy about, using slave labor.
Yeah.
Which was composed of Jews and the other various people the Nazis didn't like.
So I was grateful that this show took a hard look at a figure that, again, growing up in Huntsville, was one of my childhood heroes that everybody talked really highly about.
Oh, yeah. As a kid with an interest in science, it was like, Werner von Braun, yeah.
Well, he donated our major, my brain is blanking on what it is. The giant telescope and thing that you look at stars with.
The Hubble telescope?
No, you go in Huntsville. Observatory,
yeah.
I cannot believe my brain could not think of it, but, our civic center is based on, named after him. He was a major figure in our life, and we were very, Miyazaki The Wind Rises about him.
Yeah.
Where he was just a conflicted being who really just wanted to make rockets.
Well, that's the story that was always told to me as a child, was that he never wanted to work for the Nazis. No, he was totally a Nazi, but he never committed war crimes, whereas this show paints him as a man who committed war crimes, and that part is not true. But other than that, it's just some good Nazi-killing fun, and the show does have a lot of heartbreaking moments where it makes you almost want to cry, and it gets you upset. It really makes you understand how horrible what happened like, how horrible Auschwitz was. They really depicted how terrible the Holocaust was. And so I feel that everybody should watch it, just so that we remember how bad it was. And it also is continuing to make me angry at China some more. Going back to some of my Illuminati discussion, let me explain why I'm mad at China. So, there is a Muslim minority population in China that has basically been living in internment camps. They're not calling them internment camps.
We don't call them internment camps either here.
They are re-education centers, teaching them how to be better Chinese citizens. First of all, that should be scary just on its face, just right there, without having to explain any of it. But, in case it's not, that is pretty much a pretty point-blank cover-up for internment camps. And so now that the coronavirus has hit, and it's really a problem in China, the Chinese are having a real problem with it. It shut down a lot of their factories. While it's not as big of a concern here in the United States, in China it is. And they had to shut down a lot of their factories. So in order to open up the factories for American and worldwide consumers, they are sending the people who were essentially quarantined at these camps in to go work.
Oh.
So...
Well, that's not good.
No, China.
That's
that's
very not good.
It's like, just be cool, China. Just be cool, guys. Come on. You wrote 3 of the great epics of human literature. Just, like, be cool, guys.
Yeah, just be cool and catch some waves. At the most awkward transition I could possibly think of to move on to our actual topic, the movie Ride Your Wave.
I did this to you, Basil. I did this. I talked about Nazis and the terrible, human rights violations of the Chinese government, and now we're making you talk about this anime. Go ahead, talk about your anime, Basil.
No, we're going to take a break first. We'll be right back.
Okay, I just want to get this straight real quick, that while we were taking our break, Basil tried to say, okay, and now we gotta transition to talking about this cheerful anime. And I don't think Basil watched the same movie that me and Kevin watched. There's nothing particularly cheerful about this anime. Even the happy parts are not really that cheerful, because you know what's coming. And so it's really just setting you up. Like, was the beginning of Up cheerful?
I mean...
For a little bit.
So the beginning of Up was cheerful.
Now,
for a little bit.
Admittedly, when I first watched Up, I didn't know where that was going.
Yeah.
So you guys are on the record as saying the beginning of Up was cheerful.
For a very little bit.
For at least a good 20 seconds.
Okay, that's where we're at.
You know, that little that little first little meet and cute and that's adorable and oh.
Yeah, so the first section of this movie feels like that.
Kinda. A little longer.
Boy, I really wish you would wait till we actually start the movie itself, then get into this tirade on me. I would have loved to explain what the movie was first before we get into that bit.
No, tirades happen as tirades happen.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so, ride your wave, everybody.
Well, much like the movements of the ocean waves, you never know when things are going to hit you.
Did you write this?
No. That was just off the top of the dome.
Oh, cool.
That was pretty good, actually. Yeah. Go with that.
So this is a movie animated in Japan.
Okay, go.
Anna's going to have fun with this. Okay.
Yeah. I love my wife. So yeah, Rider Wave, animated by, studio Science Saru, directed by Masaaki Yuasa, who is, most recently maybe Night is Short, Walk on Girl, Blue Over the Wall, Devilman Crybaby, another very cheerful anime. And actually, cheerful anime, keep your hands off Isekin.
Yes.
It was written by Ryoko Yoshida, who's worked on things such as Kaleidostar, Tokyo Mew Mew, Violet Evergarden, K-On!, Girls und Panzer, and a bunch of other shows.
A bunch of other shows I didn't watch. But
And then
maybe I should reevaluate some of those.
Right. I really enjoy Kaleidostar, and I really think I need to give Violet Evergarden a chance at some point. But it's been tough scheduling things in. But music is by Michiru Oshima, who did Golf Force: The Revolution.
I mean, that was just Golf Force: The Revolution.
True. But also Magic Users Club, Project Blue Earth SOS, which is the only OAV series I've done that I love that nobody else even knows about. Kevin's favorite show, Zammed, Lost Memories.
I barely remember that show.
And other Masaaki work, The Tatami Galaxy. And also everyone's around here's favorite show, or one of our favorites, Little Witch Academia.
Yay!
That had good music.
And Kevin weirdly hasn't seen Tommy Galaxy, and this upsets me.
Yeah, I should fix that.
Yes, you should.
Because, especially the more and more Yuasa anime I watch, the more I go, I bet I'd like the Tommy Galaxy a lot.
You would.
But that's
And then one of the important things, the film's theme song is Brand New Story by Generations from Excel Tribe. And you'll hear that song a lot in this movie.
They're really banking on you liking that song.
Which, thankfully, I did. It's a catchy little tune.
Yeah.
And so we've got our main character, Hinako. She's a 19-year-old who has just moved to a oceanside town to attend college. And she's a really good surfer. She loves catching those waves.
Yeah.
And then we've also got this guy named Minato. So we've got Hinako and Minato. Minato is a firefighter who has always thought of, Hinata as his hero. And they get together and become a really endearing couple.
They're one of those couples that are so obviously in love with each other that it kind of makes everybody else around them a little sick.
Yeah.
Well, they're literally described that way. Like, that's the little sister's whole perspective.
Yeah.
It's a thing that, like, the friend firefighter, kind of comments
and
idly.
even her, like, two school friends, I think, say something
Yeah, they
about it.
lovingly tease on it. Like,
Yeah. They're just like,
like, they're very obviously in love with each other, very obviously good for each other. They bring out the best side of each other.
Yeah, and they find they have mutual interests. They get each other interested in their interests.
Mm-hmm.
It's cute. It's adorable. And it's yeah.
And then, gosh, this is one of those movies that's really hard to do spoiler-free because...
Yeah, you can only get about, 20 minutes into the movie before...
Yeah.
without spoilers. It's like...
So, our spoiler-free section kind of really stops here.
Except, eventually there's Yuasa magical realism and strange happenings.
I feel like somebody recently actually made a quote about that, but I don't remember who it was, whether it was the guy who does Voice of a Distant Star and Your Name and that stuff, or if it was Iwasa. But the comment was that generally the best kind of movies and stories that have like a really huge impact are basically normal stories with just a little bit of magic.
Yeah, I can accept that.
That it's basically a normal story, except this one magic thing.
Yeah.
I do know that apparently you also did describe the film as a simple romantic comedy.
Yeah.
That will have lots of exciting scenes, including some depicting the contrast between water and fire.
Yeah,
And
the surfer girl with the firefighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to say I appreciate Japan's recent trend towards firefighter heroes. I kind of like this. I don't know.
Like, I've already pre-ordered the Blu-ray for premiere. Mm-hmm. We're totally forcing it upon Doug, and it's going to be great because it's Studio Trigger at their best.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be much forcing. You'll probably just really like it.
Yeah, you'll just show up and show it to me, and I'll like it.
It'll be cool. And then we can finally talk about it.
Yeah. Well, that's been the trick lately. There's been a bunch of movies like in theaters that we've seen, like Premiere, like Doug couldn't make it. Then there was Weathering with You that you couldn't make it. So there are movies that we would want to talk about, but not all of us, all three of us have been able to assume the Triforce.
None of us went to the My Hero Academia movie, and it's somehow still in the top 5 movies, of movies out right now.
Weathering with You was really good. I just want to put that out there, that was a good movie.
It was a good. I really enjoyed it.
I have a strong suspicion I would really enjoy it.
You would.
But
it's,
stuck.
Spoilers, it's not quite Your Name good, but it's still really good.
Yeah. I was stuck working that day. Yeah, that's why I didn't go.
And this movie is also good.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. All right. So it's more of a melancholy movie.
Definitely.
But this movie is its own wave. Like, it comes and goes. There's high points and low points. And I really feel that the structure of it very much felt like, you're having to navigate all the emotions he's kind of throwing at you. Because things definitely happen with crazy Iwasa-ness eventually.
Yeah. Waves are a good metaphor for this movie.
And that is the trick, is that, for a good first chunk of this movie, it's pretty, I don't want to call it by the numbers, but it kind of is. Like, at first it's like, this is a good movie. I don't know if Yuasa had to, then Yuasa things happen.
Yeah. Up to a certain point, it's like, I don't even know why this is animated, but you could do this as a live-action drama, and you'd probably have saved money.
Honestly, it's really not until the end, because even the special effect could easily be replicated with special effect.
Yeah.
It's not really until the end of the movie where we have our climactic finish, where we really see the spectacular animation that we came for.
Well, yeah.
And that moment was truly spectacular and awesome. The colors, the movement, just everything about it was so fluid and wonderful.
But it was also really neat seeing Yuasa, like, stretching his limbs and doing something understated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was just kind of good human drama for a lot of the movie.
It's kind of weird to say, like, oh man, he was doing something understated. He was really stretching his range, but it was. Like, this is a little bit unlike some other movies. Like, I'm thinking, compared to things like Nice Short Walk on Girl. Which is just crazy all the way through. Yeah. But in a good way. I mean,
it's surreal from start to finish.
The cast was Ryota Katayose, who was Minato, who is one of the singers from Generations, from Excel Tribe. So, of course he probably performed the song.
Probably.
I would not be surprised. Rina Kawae was Hinako. She was a member of AKB48, or 28. I might be thinking about the anime now.
I don't know. There's too many idol groups out there.
I mean, the whole cast was mostly like live action folks doing animation voice acting.
Yeah.
And it mostly came across pretty well.
I think it showed most with the little sister. I felt that her range was more constricted than an anime character's range usually is, and it actually very much reminded me of a person who was used to working with live drama. Like, the whole character.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I kind of feel the same way, especially with Minako. Like, he was kind of... He was a little extra understated.
Yeah.
I think that Hinako, I think she did a really good job.
Yes.
The actress did Hinako, I think she did a super good job. I'm glad that she was the main character. I think she was easily someone that everyone could sort of, focus in and attach to. I really enjoyed the acting there. And also, of course, all the visualizations of the character and doing stuff and having little cute things. And, oh man, when they put their two phones together and it forms like a face.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I want to do that with Barry now. Like, I want to make, like, conjoined cell phone cases. That's such a cute idea.
They were... Sure, it is very much the epitome of, like, a really cringe, oh god, they're really into each other. But it was also, oh, they're really into each other.
Yeah, it's so sweet. I loved it.
And then spoilers happen.
So
Spoilers. They always happen.
Well, to be honest, what kind of story would you want that didn't have some kind of spoiler? I mean, that would mean nothing happened.
And we're not talking about Seinfeld. We're talking about...
Kiki's Delivery Service. No spoilers happen in that show.
Oh, there's spoilers. I mean, they're like, what, 20-year-old spoilers at this point?
My Neighbor Totoro. There's no spoilers in that. Well, there's a couple. But...
There's always something you don't want to quite... There's always something you want to hold back and not tell the people you're trying to get to watch it.
Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind. There's no spoilers for Nausicaa.
Nausicaa is the exception. There's no spoilers in Nausicaa. It's exactly what you see on the tin.
The Wind Rises. No, actually, do really like making War Machines. Anyway, that was the first part of this episode. Not now. No, unfortunately, Minato, he goes out to catch some waves when he shouldn't have, and goes under and passes away.
Well, while trying to save somebody else who was drowning.
Yes.
So
which I think he did. I think they alluded to that he did successfully get that person to safety, but he
did not make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's big damn heroes it like a good firefighter would, but
and Hinako is of course distraught.
Yeah.
Like probably her life partner, the person she was
they were
destined to be with. Like they were so in sync with each other.
Like they were almost certainly going to get married. It was,
and that's
a deeper spoiler. We'll have to go another level into spoilers about that.
I think we're in spoilers now.
In spoiler land.
Like I think spoiler land. It comes pretty quickly in this movie. It's kind of like we were trying to review Up. Like, as you were mentioning earlier,
Yeah, it's like, it's this really happy love story for a few minutes.
And then, oh God, that took a turn real fast.
Well, at least in relation to Up, I gotta give Pixar a point for giving me the really heart-wrenching moment early in the film so I could just have fun for the rest of the movie. But
so there's this one scene where they're at the tower. Mm. They're at the local big tower. And they're talking about how if you get in line far enough in advance, they'll record a message. Yeah. Well, guess what message? The guy had recorded that she didn't hear until the next year, like right after, like a year anniversary after he had died.
Yeah, that was
That's how the movie ends, and that's how the movie ends.
Well, it ends with her catching one more wave. Like, she gets back of the
That ending was clearly tacked on so that they didn't end it the way Iwasa obviously really wanted to end it, with a girl screaming and crying into a puddle.
I mean, I think he went, I can't end it there, can I? No, I can't do that.
No, he totally could have ended it there and should have. That was the end of the movie.
I think that was the producer who talked to us in the afterwards. I think she went, "You can't end it there."
Yeah.
It's like, we can't end it there.
But what we're not talking about is the whole middle section.
The whole middle part, where it's actually the most Yuasa-like.
Where one of the main theme song is a song that she doesn't realize that got them together in the first place way beforehand.
But it's like totally their song.
It's totally their song.
They had a song.
And she starts singing it to herself, and then a water spirit version of Minato shows up.
Like, it starts appearing in nearby bodies of water when she sings and talks to her. And, well, first he just kind of does the little Shaka hang ten thumb and finger thing that you can't see what I'm doing because this is audio. Hopefully you know what I mean. Because they do it a lot in this movie.
They do it a lot.
It's a surfer thing.
Yeah.
Well, it is. It's clearly, I think, he saw surfers doing it once, so he thought, oh, this is cool now.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it because the person that's most important in my life is a surfer, which we don't quite realize yet. Because this movie does the super good Yuasa thing Yuasa can do, where he takes this thing that you don't realize is all important until he loops it right about something in the past. You're like, oh, so that's what was going on.
I hate to break it to you, Basil, but I totally identified that that's what was going on the very moment it was mentioned to me in the movie. That was super predictable and telegraphed, but still good quality.
Like, well, what I mean is that he does this a lot.
Yeah.
Like, he does this in Tatami Galaxy, where you don't quite know what's going on, and I don't think you'd have told me that you would have figured out Tatami's Galaxy trick until
I didn't quite figure it out.
Until it builds a trick.
Yeah.
And this is also a much simpler story than...
Yeah. It's a simple trick.
Like,
it's a simple trick. He casually mentions to his friend of that girl, points to that girl and goes, "That's my hero." And then, like, casually throughout the rest of it, he mentions how he was saved,
Right.
early on. So it's really easy to put it together that that's what this is.
But the still act of him putting it together for you is still...
It's still beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like, you know those satisfying gifts, like, where you're watching it and, like, somebody just, like, perfectly peels off a sticker or from an electronic device or something like that it just, it's going to happen, but it just feels so good when it does.
That's this movie.
Yeah, it's like that.
And so, he appears, and eventually realize, oh no, this is him.
Yeah.
This is legit his spirit.
The way this movie's been going, there's a moment of like, I'm not sure if something magical is happening or if she's just having a really bad psychotic break.
Yeah, it lets you think it could be a psychotic break for quite a while. Like, her carrying around the blow-up dolphin that they got when they were dating, only now she's filled it with water and she's convinced that he's inside of it.
And, no one else can see him, so it's like, is this something magical, or should we be really worried about this girl? I mean, the answer is we probably should be really worried about this girl. She's obviously distraught, even.
and then this also leads to the great moment where, he's starting
to get worried about her.
To get worried about her. As she, somebody comes in and confesses his love. Somebody new comes in and confesses his love to her. And she runs to go summon him in the toilet bowl, which is the nearest body of water that she can access so that she can talk to him privately. And he points out, "You're talking to a toilet right now. Maybe you should think about going out with this guy. I don't know."
Because his whole thing is that he's like, look, I'm a spirit now. I can't be with you like we wanted.
Yeah.
But I am here for you until you're ready to let me go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad.
But, we do eventually get a moment where the water very definitely and obviously comes to life. And I'm like, oh good, something magical's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the obvious...
And then, there's also the whole thing where there's these idiot kids with firecrackers. Y'all, don't be idiot kids with firecrackers. Can you please not?
Because like the same idiot kids with firecrackers in like 2 different years in a row do really dumb things with firecrackers.
Well, the first time was the moment that actually united.
That's where they.
Minako was like he saved her from the top of a building that was on fire because of stupid idiot kids with fireworks. And the big final major scene is those same idiot kids did not learn their lesson and found an even worse building to set afire because they were just launching fireworks.
Yeah. Like, I love that, this building that had this, like, giant old dry Christmas tree inside of it.
Yeah.
It was like the size of this giant building. That was just like yes. I was like, oh, no, this is definitely catching on fire. I was definitely, this does not end well.
And I'm also appreciative of the B plot between Yoko, Minato's sister, and also his buddy Wasabi.
Yeah,
or Wasabi.
The only really experienced voice actor in the cast.
Yeah. But he's good. He's good.
No, he's good. He is a great kind of the dopey friend. And in fact, over the course of the story, he levels up a bit from dopey friend to actually pretty good firefighter.
And Yoko, I mean, she is very much the tsundere character for this, where she is the very socially awkward little sister who really just wants to be left alone. Whose hero ends up being the brother, but the brother is his hero is Hinako. And you do get the big twist at the end, of like, oh wait, she is the one that saved him, and that's why he always has his eye on her, and that's why he was doing the whole hang ting thing, and it all like coalesces to this. He has to save her, and she has to get back on a surfboard, which she hasn't really touched, because her boyfriend and probably fiance died due to waves. And he was like, no, you've got to get on that surfboard. You've got to ride that wave. Because we've got this really big animation number all set up. And you've got to be the person doing the surfboard thing. So get going. And then they do it. And holy balls. It's a work of art.
The surfboarding down the magically animated water off the burning building is... once again, the producer lady was like, when she first got told this, she could not visualize how this was supposed to work until Yuasa, handed her storyboards. And then it was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a great interview moment at the end of it, because she was one talking, and also, you also really get some, this is why they're doing Eizouken vibes.
Yeah.
Where she was like, he's like, so we're going to have this big building on fire, and then we're just going to ride a wave down this burning building and put it out, and it's going to be great. And she's like, what? He's like, no, don't worry, I'll show you. It's going to be fine. I've already got it all mapped in my head. I'm Masaaki Yuasa. I'm a crazy mad genius. I've got this, all right? This is going to be great. And then it was, because he is.
And, the beta couple pair off, and our heroine is left, seeming like she's at least going to, be able to move on with her life. Even if she's not really over it. It's like her, and whoever really is over a major loss. But, and it's, but that she could move on with her life now. And that, she could go find what else life had for her now. And so there's a hopefulness, but she's still really broken up.
Well, and she also, and also at least we know that she's becoming a lifeguard.
Oh yeah. I actually really, in fact, like that element that she does get her lifesaver qualifications by the end of the movie. You find out, and it's like, well, that's good. That's a good thing to do with her life. She can, because
she was always never quite sure what she wanted to do with her life. That was one of the big things for her, was that she was like, oh, I'm really good at this whole ocean thing. Mm-hmm. I should be a lifeguard. I should be someone, protecting to make sure this doesn't happen again. And that was a really good moment for her. Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts before we take a break and go on to questions from internet folks?
I still think the movie actually ended with her crying and screaming into a puddle with grief.
I think if I
that's fair. I mean, again, it is art. You may take that interpretation.
I think if I was writing the story,
that's where I would have cut it off. Like, I hear what all the things you're saying about how good it is to know that she finally followed through on becoming a lifeguard and everything, but no, it ended with her screaming into a bottle.
Well, this is super and almost stupidly on brand of me, but if I was writing it, she would have hooked up with the boyfriend's sister.
Yeah, I know, Kevin.
And then, the whole saving her, the bully burning billing, and them like holding on to each other, there would have been more of a symbolic connection than that, and the brother, I don't know. It's just, but very definitely her two college friends were dating each other. That they were definitely a couple.
Good, Kevin. Good, Kevin.
Because Kevin's got to find that Yuri content in the movie somewhere. Even if I have to make it up myself.
Look, fan fiction is valid for you. You can have your own headcanon. It's cool. Again, it's art. You take your interpretations, Kevin. It's fine.
Okay, questions.
All right, let's take a break.
Pause.
And we'll come out with questions from internet listeners like you on the OSMcast.
君が眺めている水面は鮮やかにきらめき少しずつ色を変えて誰ですかこれ光り続けてる時として運命は試すような道を指して僕らは立ち尽くすだけでもその痛み乗り越えたなら
All right, and we're back again with questions from listeners like you. Let's start with this guy named Charlie.
Charlie?
First question.
Charlie!
How is he so awesome?
How is Charlie so awesome?
Well, how is he so awesome? I'm guessing Masaaki Yuasa would be the guess.
Well, because he tries to learn surfing about his surfing movie, even if he never really got the hang of it. Which just makes me wonder if he tried to summon the devil while he was working on Devilman.
He doesn't bother with shadows on his figures. That's another answer to the question.
True. I mean, like I said, the man's a bad genius.
Yeah.
Like, I really, really remember really realizing when he gave me like a 17-minute short film of a heartfelt story of a luchador and his like bondage nun. It was a Romeo and Juliet story for the ages. Kick Heart. It's a thing.
Yeah, Kick Heart was sort of cool.
Next up, should I see this movie? Why and why not?
Listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Although having a brief Twitter conversation about the movie after the fact, I'm not sure if he actually wants to see it.
Well, he's wrong for not wanting to see it, but he should see it because it is a good movie. It is beautifully animated. It is a little bit sad, but it's not that sad.
All right, and from Austin, I should say Charlie on Twitter is at the sommelier. Austin is Bebop Shock. Bebop as in Cowboy Bebop, and Shock as in you are shock!
Which is a reference I hope all our listeners understand.
Right?
At least at this point.
So, having not seen the film yet, how does it stack up among Yuasa's other films specifically? Series not included. And he said, by and large, it's much more overall understated.
Yeah. Yeah, I really feel like I like The Night is Short, Walk On Girl better. But I'm here for the weirdo surrealism from start to finish. That's kind of what attracted me to Yuasa as a creator to begin with. But I really like Ride Your Wave, but it's a very different sort of movie.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. Admittedly, I've not seen every single movie he's done. Like, I still need to see Lou Over the Wall.
I do too.
Well, I generally think that much like a lot of things, this is a top tier movie. And this movie could hit you as your favorite Iwasa movie. It didn't particularly hit me as my absolute favorite Iwasa movie, but it's an honorable mention. Like, I feel like if you just have just a slightly taste alignment difference, you'd love it more.
All right. And then from Tobias at Reverend, I think _ Tobias. In Leaders, how many tears did you collectively shed? 5.
5 liters?
Maybe 5. Maybe 4 liters? I mean, there was... I teared up a little bit here and there. I didn't tear a lot. But it was definitely very, very sad moments.
It did actually move me to tears. But as I stood up, like I heard other people say, I only choked up twice. So I think I'm just abnormal in that I got excited during the sad moments more than I got sad.
Kevin?
Well, there's no Orange Road movie. That broke me. But it definitely... the sad moments definitely feel
sad.
Feel for it.
Yeah.
You feel for it, and you get a little misty-eyed.
I mean, this isn't Anohana, and it's hitting you over the face with the crying bat. Like, Anohana hits you with the crying bat until you are nothing left. It is very good at doing that. This movie has very good sad moments.
Well, the whole movie is about moving on.
Yeah.
It's about, going with the highs and the lows of life. And so it does have these really profound moments, but it doesn't stay on them for very long, and it moves along to one of the high moments, to one of the moments to get you excited and happy again. It's got a lot going on.
All right. Can you still hear the song in your head? Yeah.
Yeah, well, specifically, I can still hear her, slightly off-key singing it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I like the song as well as they were hoping I would. So there comes a point where I'm like...
It didn't even register to me that I was supposed to like it. Because the number one way that you hear it is her, singing it in order to summon him, it felt like a plot device, like she may have been reciting the Dragon Slave for all I cared.
Yeah. I was sort of like, okay, yeah, summon your boyfriend. That's,
Alright. Which sea creature would you self-identify as?
Now that's a serious question.
Oh, I already know the answer to this. I would be a sea dragon, a leafy sea dragon. Not like the mythological creature, but the actual real, creature, which are a type of seahorse, only they don't have the tail, they have a structured body, and they float around softly.
I want to say penguin, but I'm probably a walrus.
Seahorse, all the way.
I'd like to be a mantis shrimp, because they see all the colors, especially the ones we don't, and can punch so hard, they turn the water into air.
Oh, I miss my leafy sea dragon friends.
But,
they used to have them in Chattanooga at the aquarium, and I would go all the time, and I would see them, because they were like my people. They were just hanging out.
I'm probably just really some kind of jellyfish who floats around. Zaps you if you get too close.
Favorite scene? The toilet.
Yeah, the toilet scene was really fantastic.
Yeah, especially with the, I gotta think something's wrong with you if you keep talking to the toilet.
Or a year later, after he's been dead for a year now, and she's at the tower again, and she hears on the intercom his voice proposing to her.
It's just
Yep. And so she breaks down and cries and screams into a puddle. That's a really good moment.
It's a really powerful scene, definitely.
On a scale from 1 to #goals, how much did you like the main protagonist relationship? Do you feel Hinako's grief was portrayed in a healthy way?
Okay. I super relate to that relationship. I feel that is basically how me and Barry are a majority of the time. So I really liked their relationship.
That was cute. I think she eventually ended up in a healthy place by the end of the movie. Like, I don't think she was... There was a chunk of the movie where she was not in a healthy place and not moving on, but...
Yeah, so that question is hard to answer because I don't think she was handling her grief in a healthy way initially.
Though, but a believable way.
Yeah.
I mean, God, if something happened to Anna, I would be so Hinako.
I'm like over here as the single one, although I was married and am now divorced. And after I got divorced, even though it was probably definitely a good thing, I was kind of messed up for a while. Like, I was emotionally messed up for a while.
Yeah, and my fiancé of 7 years, had just broken up with me before he died. So,
yeah.
I wasn't quite in the same headspace of this is my life partner who has passed away. But even though like he wasn't my life partner, it was still really upsetting. It was even more upsetting when the 7-year mark hit and I realized that he had now been dead for as long as we were together. When that came and went, that was really, really upsetting, and I don't think the grief is really...
And this is that moment when I realized, oh God, that means my mom has been passed away for like 7 years.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was the same year.
Yeah.
That was a bad year.
That was a bad year.
That was a really bad year.
Did they really die the same year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
So, I mean, as well as James's mom, like it was
really bad
It was a really bad year.
Bad year.
So yeah, grief's a thing. So Tori had worst waifu. Who animates water better, Ghibli or Science Saru?
My real answer was I was going to say, the studio that did the Raindrop anime that we just saw.
Oh,
Whether
Makoto Shinkai Studio?
Yeah, I was going to say Masato Senkai Studio, but then I realized that Studio Ghibli.
Sort of.
Basically.
Sort of. He did sort of take them, apparently. Or...
Like, he took a vast majority of the animators from Studio Ghibli. So, I guess that's my answer then.
Boy, not to take away from the good water effects and, riding your wave, because the water was cool. The water was cool when it was doing stuff water most definitely doesn't do, though.
Yeah, the water was at its best when it was its own artistic thing.
Yeah. Although the actual, the waves for, surfing, that all looked really excellent.
Yeah.
But, boy, in my gut, I'm actually leaning towards Ghibli.
Well, it's also hard, because Ghibli, I feel, has gone through various phases.
Yeah.
Even though Miyazaki's been at the helm for so long, I kind of feel that there's two different, demarcations of Ghibli-ness, or Miyazaki-ness, and so it's like, man, I don't know. Because the water it's also just two different takes on water.
Right.
And was there a Ghibli movie how do you pronounce that? Did they ever really have a movie that really, I guess there was Ponyo.
Yeah.
I guess Ponyo is one that really...
was all about water.
And I may have to go with Science Saru on this one, I think. But then again, I haven't seen Ponyo in forever. And we're one of the few that really liked Ponyo. So a lot of people thought that was one of the weaker Studio Ghibli movies.
What? No, Ponyo was great!
Liam Neeson very much wants you to meet his wife, the ocean.
All right. So, is the romance, quote, real, unquote, and well written?
Yeah.
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 That's That's some real, that intense sort
I
of...
don't know if they necessarily make you super root for them, like, as far as that goes on the romance, but they definitely make it feel like this was a real couple that really loved each other, and they were planning to spend their life together.
Yeah.
Next question was, does Lou make a cameo? And I'm not sure, because unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention for that.
Not that I ever saw, but...
Yeah, I haven't seen Lou Over the Wall, so I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, I haven't, but I think I know what the character looks like. But not that I ever could tell.
All right, and then our last question for this is, does this movie make you want to go out and surf? In parentheses, I am horribly terrified of the ocean.
Yeah, it kind of makes me want to surf a little bit. Just a little bit, though.
Just a little bit.
I still mostly want to dive. Is mostly what I want to do.
That actually sounds more fun, because I could never get the hang of skateboarding, and I've honestly never properly learned how to ride a bike. The one time I went out ice skating, I gave myself a permanent scar. I would probably not do well on a surfboard.
Oh my gosh! So when I was in Belize, I went snorkeling, and oh my gosh, it was just an amazing moment of like I was snorkeling and just kind of like wandering through the reef, not going down in it. The place where I went snorkeling in Belize, like the reef was just like a foot below the water. Like there was just enough water for me and my body to get over the reef with the coral without touching it. And part of the reason why I had to go really slow was and stick to like the crevices between the corals was because it was so shallow. And it was amazing. It was so vibrant and colorful and wonderful. But then I got to the drop off, and I was kind of like laughing to myself, going, "I wonder why people are scared of sharks." And then like I got to the drop off, and suddenly I understood, because it was just this massive blue blackness that just suddenly opened up, and you could see things off in the distance that were far enough away that your foggy little thing couldn't make out what it was. So yeah.
So, Tori, I don't know if that helps you or not.
So
being
the
scared of
ocean is
the
in fact
ocean.
terrifying, and surfing is hard.
My balance is non-existent. Much like Kevin, I can't ride a bike. And it took me a year or two to be able to go around a skating rink once. And that was going in every week to try and skate. And I decided it was just not worth fighting my bad balance to do. And ice skating is right out. So no, me and surfboards, no. But I'll like chill out on the beach, maybe, play in the early parts of the ocean if I ever get there. But I'm good there. That's where I'm good.
I have never actually surfed, mostly because I've been going to the Gulf of Mexico as my beach of choice all of my life, and the Gulf of Mexico just does not have the waves that the Pacific or even the Atlantic has. And I only went to the Pacific Ocean one time, so yeah, that's not enough to learn how to swim. Well, not enough to learn how to swim. That's not enough to learn how to surf.
Right.
Kevin, how many awesomes out of awesome was Ride Your Wave?
One flaming Christmas tree of awesome.
All right. Doug.
He already took the number I wanted to use. Come up with a different one, Kevin. Mine's better.
You can still use the number 1.
Come up with a different one, Kevin. Mine's better.
I don't know. I just pulled it out of my ass.
Kevin, go with the 2 potentially Yuri best friends out of awesome.
Yeah, the 2 potentially Yuri best friends at college of awesome. Because, that's what I was actually only thinking about through the whole movie anyways.
1, screaming into a puddle in grief of awesome.
I'm going to break this rule. I'm also choosing 1 spirit-infused toilet.
What about 5 liters of crying of awesome?
There you go. There was at least 5 liters in that puddle.
Uncountable badly considered fireworks of awesome.
1 year later of awesome.
So in many respects for me, like I think one of the takeaways I did take away from, but also with Weathering with You and, and Ride Your Wave, that we've got a really, I don't know if it's a case of this has just been the case in Japan for a while now, or if we really are feeling sort of experiencing a new renaissance of awesomely directed anime original films. At the very least, we're getting them now.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome. I mean, between Weathering with You, whatever Mamoru Hosoda is working on next. There's Mariah last year. It's a good time to be an anime fan. And at the very least, if not, maybe it's always been this way, but at least in America, actually getting these movies and getting the chance to see them in theaters is great. And I think, a lot of people wondered what would happen to anime movies, now that Miyazaki is quote unquote retired.
We'll see how long that lasts.
And, and Studio Ghibli is over. And the answer is, we're fine. We're getting awesome movies. We're getting poignant movies. And we're getting movies that maybe we may have seen if Miyazaki was still doing his Miyazaki thing and telling everyone that they're terrible. I don't know. But I really, really enjoyed Ride Your Wave. And so this has been the OSMcast, your podcast for everything awesome. A production of the OSMcast, edited by my wonderful wife and our great editor, Anna, who can never, ever ride waves because I'll be scared, thanks to this movie.
It's not that scary.
Okay, as long as I'm there to get her if something bad happens. Anyways, our theme song was made by DJ Inabido. You can find him at djinabido.com or at Twitter at DJ Inabido. You can find Anna on Twitter at Angel Darkfire. You can find me on Twitter at It's Basil Time. Kevin's at Twitless_Kevin. You will not find Doug on Twitter.
You can't find me. I don't exist.
Except on Redbubble, where you can buy awesome t-shirt designs and other things.
Okay, touche. I need to actually put some more stuff up on there.
At Umitsu?
Yep.
Yeah, Redbubble, Umitsu. So and of course you can find us at awesomecast.com. I know that Anna and I, we plan on really kicking back into, at some point soon, Touch by Duelist. We want to get back into that. Watching Touch and Yu-Gi-Oh! One episode at a time. I definitely also want to get our 14 podcast going. The Carbuncle Chronicle. We'll see how that goes. But until then, find us there. Please tell your friends. Give us reviews on things. All the stars would be great and amazing. And until then, we'll see you next time.
だからもう前だけを向いて少しだけ勇気を持って That's right 目を開けたその瞬間